After the Las Vegas shooting, the White House said it was premature to discuss gun laws. But after the New York attack, President Trump said immigration laws must change. Bastian Inzurralde / The Washington Post. President Trump moved quickly Wednesday to gain political advantage in the wake of the New York terrorist attack, casting blame on Democrats for lax immigration laws and calling the criminal justice system's handling of suspects a joke. A day after a man, identified by authorities as an Uzbek immigrant, killed 8 people on a Manhattan bike path in an act authorities said was inspired by the Islamic State, Trump seized on the deadly crime to renew his calls for a series of hardline policies. The president said he would move to eliminate a popular diversity lottery for foreigners seeking U.S. visas and direct the State Department to ramp up extreme vetting of immigrants. He also suggested he would consider sending the suspect, Sayfullo Saipov, a legal permanent resident of the United States, to the U.S. military prison in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. We have to get much tougher, Trump said. We have to get much smarter. And we have to get much less politically correct. We're so politically correct that we're afraid to do anything. Trump campaigned on vows to get tougher on terrorism and immigration, but his agenda has been largely stalled in Congress and in the federal courts, where judges have blocked several attempts by the administration to enact a sweeping travel ban on immigrants from a handful of countries, although Uzbekistan is not one of them. It was not clear how much action Trump could take on his own to make good on his renewed pledges. But his response, including blaming Senate Minority Leader Charles E. Schumer DNY for helping create the visa program that allowed Saipov to enter the country, stood in sharp contrast to the White House's reaction to the mass shooting in Las Vegas last month that killed 59 people at a country music concert. After that attack by a Nevada man who killed himself, Trump denounced the shooter's act as pure evil, but White House aides and Republican allies rejected calls by Democrats for a renewed debate over gun control laws, saying it was not appropriate to politicize the tragedy. On Wednesday, however, Trump said the United States needs a system of punishment that's far quicker and far greater than the punishment these animals are getting right now. They'll go through court for years. We need quick justice, and we need strong justice. Trump also said the criminal justice system is a laughingstock in how suspects are prosecuted and added that keeping the country safe will require unflinching devotion to our law enforcement, Homeland Security and intelligence professionals. The comments are remarkable given the Justice Department's heavy focus on prosecuting terrorism cases. 29-year-old Sayfullo Saipov is the suspect held in the terrorist attack that left 8 people dead in Lower Manhattan on October 31. Here's what you should know. Amber Ferguson / The Washington Post. Just 2 weeks ago, a federal jury convicted a New Jersey man born in Afghanistan for detonating explosives in the Chelsea neighborhood of New York last year. Referring to Saipov as an animal, Trump asserted that the 29-year-old was responsible for the entry of 23 immigrants, many of them family members. The president said such chain migration endangers national security, and he called for the elimination of the State Department's diversity visa lottery, through which authorities have said Saipov came to the United States in 2010. It was not clear what evidence the president had for the claim. Legal permanent residents are permitted to sponsor only their spouse and their children under 21 years of age for green cards, according to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. The lottery program issues up to 50,000 visas per year to people from dozens of countries, granting them legal permanent residency. The aim is to mix up the nation's melting pot, although the visas are a tiny fraction of the roughly 1 million green cards issued annually. It's not good. It hasn't been good. We've been against it, Trump said. He has expressed support for an immigration bill from Republican Senators Tom Cotton Arkansas and David Perdue Georgia that would slash legal immigration levels by half over a decade, including eliminating the diversity lottery. Democrats and many Republicans have opposed the bill. This man that came in, or whatever you want to call him, brought in with him other people, and he was the primary point of contact for, and this is preliminarily, 23 people that came in or potentially came in with him, Trump said. That's not acceptable. Asked whether Saipov's family members represent a security threat, Trump replied they certainly could. He did.
They certainly could represent a threat. In 1990, Schumer, then a House member, introduced the bill that he